Straight line speed is to go down towards Parabolica. All 20 drivers still in this race, and Super Trubo is up into the podiums in the gold division here at his home Grand Prix, and that's a yellow flag, and that's another safety car. Why is a safety car coming out when there's no DNF? PX limits round the outside of the house, the Alpine into Tamburello, and they've collided. He needs to watch out for the drivers. They don't ghost. Oh, wow, that was so close. So Habits had to let one of the drivers back through. I think he's had to slow down as well. Jack trying to battle with the Alfa Romeo and the Alfa Romeo. Oh, and they've gone wide, and the track is getting very slippery. The intermediates are struggling here, Trubo. Up P4, B-Right is through on Fanfness, the Alfa Romeo and the AlphaTauri side by side going into turn one, and the AlphaTauri just nearly hits the Ferrari, and that's Fanfness of the Alfa Romeos there as well. DJ Harvey with a time penalty, Oliver de Moses through on DJ Harvey, and B-Right has collapsed to the back of Optimal in the Alpine, who's just joined back and entered his car, and Fanfness is through and down the inside as they go down towards Della Roggia, and he's been clattered by B-Right in the Alfa Romeo, and Fanfness is round. Dev P has spun it. Reese has been overtaken by Banter Brandon, and there's action everywhere again. Sponsored by Rock Solid Rigs. And it's lights out and away we go. Maximo does have the inside line going down into turn one, but the Ferrari got an amazing start. Now it's B-Right and Maximo, the two Red Bulls, as B-Right backs out going into turn one. Roix is through on Ryan Dipavinis to go win. What's going on, guys, and welcome to Formula 7 Racing. We are live. This is the Gold Division here in Netherlands. It is a wet qualifying, Jack. Not a lot of drivers will be happy about that, but it is what it is. But yeah, the Gold Division, some of the finest drivers from around the world. Also, we have a lot of Dutch drivers on the grid. We have Ducky, Lude, Cars, Fanfness, partly Super Trubo, Roix. So yeah, cut a lot of Dutch drivers on the grid for the home Grand Prix. As well, guys, we in the 8 races previous to the Netherlands, we've had 7 different gold winners. So I cannot call this. So we are on board with a Quinlan in the Alfa Romeo. So here he comes round turn 14, down towards the start-finish line in the wet, and it's a 193. That is the benchmark. Here comes Rogue Smithy to the line, goes fastest, a 118.2 from the Red Bull driver on them intermediates. A little bit of traffic now. I don't know what he's doing with his wheel. I think he might be lagging quite a bit. Hopefully that doesn't mess up any of the drivers. We do have a Haas driver coming to the line as well. That is B-Right just behind his teammate. Cars goes P2. Here comes B-Right to the line, takes that P2 away from his teammate. I'm just going to have a look at the gold standings actually. So B-Right does lead. He's 9 points in front of Banter Brandon in the Alpine. Senjo goes fastest in the wet with a 117.8. So B-Right leads on 109 points. Then comes Banter Brandon on 100. Then Henke, the other Alpine driver, on 75. Fanfness on 64. Reese on 63. Maximo on 60. So a lot of drivers still in contention for this championship. So Fanfness does have a qualifying ban, so that is why he's retired. So let's see if he can come from the back of this grid. He is still in this championship fight. There's still 10 races to go, this being one of them, and 9 races after this.
So he's still in that championship fight. Panda, here we go in the Mercedes Petronas AMG. And that's Cars that goes second now. So it was just a little banker lap that he set. So here comes Panda out of turn 14 in the Mercedes down towards the start finish line. Is he going to go fastest? It's P3, separates the two Haas drivers. Not bad with all things considered, but at the moment it is Senjo that is fastest. Brandon is on an outlap. He's just behind a Mercedes. Ducky on a lap. Maxi Rock is in as well. Block. Let me just do a quick sound check, guys. Just make sure that everything's okay. So we are on board with the Belgian driver of Maxibot. What's going on, Billy? So Maxibot does go fastest, but it's only P10. Reese is in P9. Lewis in the other Aston Martin currently in P8. Henke only P8 in the Alpine. So he's on his way back out to try and set another lap. Super Turbo went P3, by the way, in the Alfa Romeo, which is a cracking lap. It seems like it's just drying up. The track is getting quicker. As the more laps they set and that dry line starts to form, the cars will get quicker and quicker around this circuit. Ludey's out. I think has he retired in the pit lane, or has he actually crashed it? Ludey in the Ferrari is out. Remember, we have 2 seats in the gold division at the moment, both Ferrari seats. Banter Brandon is on the lap, so he's the right guy. Banter Brandon to the line goes the Alpine, and it's P3. It's in front of his championship rival. 9 points separate them. I know, Famf, that's true, mate. What's going on, Banana? Yeah, Famf, you've literally got 9 minutes and then you're good to go. Right in the AlphaTauri. He is reserving today. We've lost a couple of drivers recently, unfortunately. We lost Oliver, we've lost Dennis, so there is 2 free seats in gold. There's a load of seats going in silver, so if you are interested, !Discord in the chat, because we will be getting rid of a lot of silver drivers this weekend. Out of turn 14 goes the AlphaTauri. To the line, it's only P14 for Roix. Where is Senjo? Is Senjo on another lap? Yeah, that's true, fam. Senjo goes even quicker. It's a 1:17.5 for the Williams driver. Oh, Kaz has gone even quicker. It's a 1:17.2 from the Haas driver. Ryan Dijperveen in the McLaren is also his home Grand Prix as well. He's in P5, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Dutchies at the home Grand Prix. Whereas Henke and B Right. B Right is improving. Coming through sector 2. Yellow flags. Oh, B Right's back down. I think he backed out of that lap. Oh, Henke's crashed it. Henke has crashed it. So, let's have a look, because I know that is a streak that's come to an end. So, looking at pole positions, Henke has got pole position last week in Portugal, the week before in France, the week before in Singapore, 2 weeks before that in Belgium, and then 2 weeks before that in Bahrain. He's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pole positions in the first 8 races. But round 9 today, it will be somebody else on pole position. It will not be Henke. Pick a race winner on track. Jesus. I will go for Brandon to win today. Yeah, I'm going to go for Brandon to win. So, Henke, 5 pole positions, mate, this season. And crashed out for coming through sector 2. The rain has actually stopped. The rain has stopped in qualifying. That means that everybody has 5 minutes to get better laps in. This could see Henke drop even further down. This is not going to be good for him. A. Quinlan is out. Ludave's controller died. It's all to play for now. B Right goes P3. So he goes back in front of Banter Brandon. Maxi Block is trying to improve as well, the Aston Martin driver. I think he's just behind his teammate. He is a little bit deep through there. Will they go into the pits, or will they just stay out now and set a couple of laps? I think Lewis is flying. He is. He's half a second up. That would put him around P6, P5, P4, around there. Here he comes. P4 for Lewis. What a lap. We have 5 drivers in the 117.9, so any improvement from them is huge. Super Tube into the pits, rushing in there. Reese is 4 tenths up in that Mercedes. So what can Reese do? Another yellow flag. So the rain has stopped, the track is drying out, and the laps are getting quicker. Here in the Netherlands, Reese is a second up. That's going to be around P3. So all the drivers can now start to improve, and Rogue Smithy has crashed it through sector 1. Coming out of turn 4, he's crashed it, the Red Bull driver. He will start to drop through the grid now as the track dries up. Panda is going back into the pits. They've got 3.5 minutes to get in, get out, and set this one last lap. Are they going to go for dry tyres? Is anybody going to chance it? They're all still on intermediates. Fanfinis was on them wets. Didn't want to waste the set. Maxi Block goes P5 now. Right behind his teammate by 1/10 of a second. All the drivers in the pits. Roik is already back out in the AlphaTauri. He has come back out on the fresh intermediates. Can he get a lap in? and go to the top of this grid. So after 3 concurrent weeks of pole positions for Henke, week number 4 will be taken by a different driver. It is still raining, so the rain is still dropping. I can see Ryan Dijperveen just switching over to them softs. Is it the correct decision though? Royks will be the first driver to set a lap. So I can still see little drops of rain. I can see that dry line starting to form around here. He has, Jack. I've just noticed that him and Brandon both got the softs. I think they're just waiting and they're going to try and go out at the very last second and hope the track dries. Somebody else going into the pit lane, but we are on board with Royks. In the AlphaTauri, down into turn 1 at the hairpin, keeping it nice and tight to the curb. Easy on the throttle, just watching out for that traffic. Nice and tight to 2 and 3, into the hairpin at 4, and he slides the rears. He's going to have to back out of that lap now. Surely he backs out. He's going to save his ERS and he's going to have to go again. All the drivers on the way out. Out laps for Sendro, Cars and B right on intermediates. Lewis, Banter Brandon, Ryan Dijperveen, Super Turbo all on softs. Reese on softs. So it's a mixed up grid here. Drivers going for softs, drivers going for intermediates. Nobody knows what's the best tyre choice to go for here at the end of qualifying for the Dutch Grand Prix. So a really mixed up grid. Anybody in the pits needs to hurry up because they only have just over a minute. I don't think Maxi's going to make it. He's not. That's it for Maxi. He's not going to reach the line. He's left it too long. Lewis is going to struggle. It's going to be very, very close. So Royks does go fastest after slipping. He did go for it. He didn't save his ERS. Even though he slipped going into turn 1, he went for it. So Ducky is the next driver in the Ferrari who will set his lap. All the drivers rushing to make the line. And they're just gathering up into turn 14. That is Cars. DRS enabled. DRS is enabled. Royks, Rogue, Henke, Lude, Quinlan, Fanfurness can all forget it. They're all at the back of this grid. So Cars is going for it. And some of the drivers on soft compound tyres. Sendro, Cars on their lap. Ducky's on his lap as well. That is the checkered flag. Maxi did not make it. I said he wouldn't make it, so Maxi will find himself tumbling down this starting grid. But we are on board with Cars in the Haas. He does have his teammate right behind him. There is a driver just in front of him as well. That is Panda, also on the intermediates. He's 1.2 seconds up. The Mercedes driver. I don't know how he's managed it, but Royks has gone even quicker. But remember, he had no ERS, but he did have the DRS to improve. Panda is 3 seconds up, so he's well ahead of Royks' time. B right goes provisional pole here in Netherlands. I didn't see he was on a lap, so I thought it was Panda that was the front of the pack. Here comes Panda down towards the line. Then it's going to be Cars. Panda goes provisional pole. Then it's going to be Cars in the Haas who takes away that provisional pole as all the drivers start to come through. Ryan goes P3, Ducky P8, Banter Brandon takes provisional pole, but Trubo takes it right back off him. Who gets pole position? Super Trubo got P2. Who ended up taking that P1 and pole position here in the Netherlands? It was Lewis in the Aston Martin. Can you believe it? On the soft compound tyres, Lewis takes pole position in the gold race here in Netherlands. So close in the end. The 3 soft runners right up there. The intermediates, but look at that. Banter Brandon, who's 9 points behind Jack in the Drivers' Championship. is starting in, B Wright, who's 9 points in front of Banter Brandon in the championship, is in P9 and Banter Brandon in P3. So that will be the battle to watch, as well as everybody else that's still in this championship battle, like Reese and Fanfinis and everybody else. So the race is dry. The rain did stop. So it's going to be an interesting start to this race. So here we go, we're getting ready. The Netherlands Grand Prix. And it was out of 7 Dutch drivers on the grid, it was a British driver that took pole position. In P2 was a San Marino driver who resides from the Netherlands in P2. Here we go. This is it for round 9 here in the Netherlands for the Gold Division, sponsored by Rock Solid Rigs. And it's lights out and away we go. Down towards turn 2. The Alfa Romeo tries to come on over to block Banter Brandon as they go down into turn 1. He's got the inside line. The 2 Ferraris side by side. That's Duque and Lude. The Alfa Romeo and the Alpine still scrapping going down into turn 2. Ryan B. Right, Cars has spun it. Cars in the Alpine. Maxi Block is out. Maxi Block, who's in this championship battle in the Aston Martin, is out of the Dutch Grand Prix. The Belgium is out. Cars is at the back of the grid. Ducky's got a penalty. It's a VSC. It's a full safety car now. A full safety car on lap 1. Maxi Block is out. Cars is at the back of this grid. B Wright's up 2. Henke's up 5. Fanfinis is up 5. Rogue Smithy up 2. Ryan, Reese and Panda all make up 1 position, but the top 3 stay in order. It still says virtual safety car, but I can see the safety car out of the pit lane. There we have it. The safety car is out. So Maxibot not even making it to the end of lap 1. There you can see the tyre choices for the drivers. A lot of them for the mediums, except Trubo, B Wright, Smithy and Fanfinis all on the softs. There is a couple of drivers in the pits. That is the 2 Norwegians of Senjo and Henke. Henke hasn't got a front wing. Does Senjo? No, Senjo's just changing his tyres onto the softs. Wow. So it didn't look like there was anything wrong with Senjo's car, but he has pitted to go onto the softs. Henke did need a new front wing, so he's at the back of this grid. Sorry if you're watching this stream and it keeps crashing. I don't actually know why it does that. I'm going to have to look into it. So I will take a look at that and try and figure why it does that. I'll have a look on YouTube or something later. To see if I can fix it. So, one Aston Martin follows another, one being a safety car, one being a Formula 1 driver. Cars, to be honest, I don't think anybody's seen you reset to track. You know, we are still missing 3 drivers. We've got 5 reserves in. Every one of them showed up. So I'm just wondering who the other 3 drivers are that didn't turn up as well. Which is a little bit annoying. Because they voted to race. Sam Flea didn't turn up. Shavi didn't turn up. Did he vote not to race? No. So Sam Flea and Shavi both voted to race and didn't turn up. I think that was it. Yeah. Hopefully the safety car goes in this lap. It is in this lap. And we're going to go racing once again around Zandvoort. So Lewis will lead the safety car restart. Around turn 13 and 14 they go. DRS will not be enabled till lap 6. And off he goes, straight out of turn 14. That's a great restart from Lewis. He managed to get the jump on Trubo. And as they all come down, that is a McLaren as well. That is Ryan. There's a Red Bull right down the inside. That is Rogue Smithy down the inside of a Haas driver of B Right. B Right getting swallowed up by the Red Bull. Here comes the McLaren of Fanfness now as well. And Roix is there. A. Quinlan gets the move on Ducky. B Right trying to make the move on Rogue Smithy, but he's got Fanfness right on his tail. Fanfness trying to go round the outside. We've got Trubo on the back of Lewis now, chasing him down. And Brandon all separated by 0.4 of a second. Henke making the move on Ducky. Ducky now down to P15. Super Trubo on the back of Lewis, but remember they're not going to have that DRS. I will definitely look into that, guys, as to why it keeps crashing when we're streaming. Maybe I've got too much stuff on here. There goes the Alfa Romeo. And Trubo sets the fastest lap. And with that, he goes round the outside of the Aston Martin and takes the lead in this Grand Prix. Banter Brandon trying to follow him. Sticks it behind Lewis. Panda's there as well with Risa 2 Mercedes in P4 and P5. Rogue Smithy, he's still got B right on the back of him. Cars right on the back of Roix. Ducky at the back of this grid now in the Ferrari. Just struggling with that straight line speed. He's losing so much time down the straights, the Ferrari driver. That is Cars. The 2 Dutchies. Oh, and Cars is onto the grass, rides the curb. And there goes Henke in the Alpine. Can Cars come back at him? The Alpine and the Ferrari nearly touch. That's Lude. And Henke in the Alpine. Cars in the Haas. They go 3 wide as they go down into the chicane. The right and left hander. And the Ferrari gets a double overtake on himself. Senjo makes the move on Ducky as well. Rogue Smithy into the slipstream of Ryan. Trubo setting another fastest lap. Right with a 5-second time penalty for speeding into the pit lane. Rogue Smithy does that B right on the back of him. As it stands right at this time, live tables, it is B right that would still be leading this Drivers' Championship by 1 point to Banter Brandon as it stands. If B right makes up another position, he will lead by 2 points. Oh, look at the Haas on Rogue Smithy. Down into the right-hander, and the Haas driver is through on the Red Bull cars, is through on Henke as well. Wow. Henke on them soft compound tyres. I wonder what the drivers will do. I'm not sure if they'll get another safety car. Now here comes Ryan Dapperveen on Reese, the McLaren with that DRS on the Mercedes. He's got the inside line as well, and the Dutchy is through on the Mercedes. Can Reese come back at him? And just slots back in behind him. Rogue Smithy on the Haas as well. Banter Brandon lost the position, and so did Lewis to Panda. Wow, where has Panda come from? I didn't even spot that. What's going on, Rob? Fanfurness is from Rogue Smithy as well. Side by side go Smithy and Fanfurness. Great racing by the McLaren and the Red Bull. The McLaren is just going to edge in front. And he does. Can the Red Bull come back at him? Down the inside they go. And that's beautiful racing by the pair of them. And the Red Bull tries to switch around. Couldn't get down the inside. And the McLaren driver is through and up to P8. Sorry guys, I forgot to join the commentary box. Oh, that's a Haas driver. That is B right on Reese now. B right is back up to P6. Every single position counts at the moment. So with that extra position goes an extra 2 points in the championship battle. Banter Brandon still chasing down Lewis. Here comes the Alpine on Lewis. Not able to make the move this time. Oh, just has a little look. He does have that McLaren of Ryan behind him and B right now. He does not want to be taken by B right. DRS is enabled. Panda is chasing down Trubo. Will probably wait for the pit straight. Remember, you get that DRS so much earlier now. Halfway through turn 13. Here goes Panda out of turn 14. DRS enabled. And this is going to be a very easy and early move for the Mercedes of Panda. And Super Turbo will slot back into P2. There's Smithy in P9 as well. A Quinlan having a good recovery drive. Oh, that is a Quinlan in the Alfa Romeo who has spun it. And A Quinlan doing it the right way. No reset to track. You won't see him breaking the rules. Really unfortunate for A Quinlan. So remember, Trubo is on them soft compound tyres. And DRS enabled. Ryan is closing on Brandon as well. That is a yellow flag. I'm not sure why. I'm trying to look. I don't see anybody. Oh, it's the Alfa Romeo of A Quinlan again. So A Quinlan has cooked them tyres and now he's really struggling. Here goes Fanfurness on Reese. Reese has decided not to do what he did last time and cover the inside line instead of the outside line. Oh, and that's really close racing. Fanfurness just having to back out. Into the hairpin they go. Lewis chasing down Trubo now. Remember, their medians will start to come into play. Banter Brandon trying to get one more move done. So Trubo has lost the DRS to Panda. That will leave him open for the attack from Lewis. The only thing is, with the soft runners, is that the undercut is so powerful around here. So they will benefit from that, but it's at the end of the race. That is a yellow flag. If a safety car came out now, that is A. Quinlan again. He's really struggling on the cupped up tyres. Here goes Lewis on Super Turbo. Round the outside he goes. The Aston Martin, so much more grip. And now the Alfa Romeo will have to save for P3. But he does have Banter Brandon on his tail as B-Right goes a little bit wide there in the Haas. So Banter Brandon now has Trubo in his sights, who's on them 10-lap old softs as long as he can stay around where he is. So Banter Brandon will try and get through as quick as possible as Panda is taking off now, as Trubo continues to hold up on them old softs. But when do you pit for mediums? I'd say around lap 14, really, realistically. Oh, Bandon just had a little snap there, a little lose of the rears. And Trubo will have that DRS as well. Can he hold on? Banter Brandon will want to chase him down as quick as possible. And here comes the Alpine. Trubo settling for the inside line. The Alpine's going to have to go the long way round here in Zandvoort. Trubo getting the inside in the Alfa Romeo. Banter Brandon trying to come back at him as they go wheel to wheel, side by side through the S's and down into the hairpin. The Alpine will now have the inside line. He gets a tap up the back from the McLaren. And that's the Alfa Romeo, just as a little snap. And that gives the opportunity to Brandon to get into the podium positions. Can Trubo come right back at him, though? He is trying. Now you got Ryan and you got B right on the back of the McLaren. So in the championship battle at the moment, B-Right would still be leading by 2 points. That is live standings as we continue to go. Here comes Fanfinus on Reese. He will have that DRS. Banter Brandon outside the DRS zone of Lewis now as well. That is not what he wanted. Roix is out. Roix has lost it. That could be a safety car. It is a safety car. This gives all the soft runners an opportunity to pit. This is awful. Absolutely awful for the medium runners. 5 seconds. Who was that? McLaren. That was Fanfinus who jumped Reese and B-Right. I'm pretty sure that will be a penalty. Overtaking under the safety car. What he did there. So every single driver on the grid pits. Lude with a 5 as well. And Ducky is at the front of this grid now after not pitting. So the two McLarens double stacked. And that has cost Fanfinus massively. He's down to P11, but he is on the hards. Wow. So, all the medium runners switched to the hards, all the soft runners switched to the mediums, so it wasn't the end of the world for the other drivers. He is, Jack. He's going to get swallowed up. So Panda does have that 5-second time penalty. That could be really costly. A. Quinlan onto the softs. Shunny had gone onto the hards on the mediums. Ducky yet to pit. He's really risking it. Oh, A. Quinlan gets a 5 second for speed in the pit lane. Oh, that will annoy him. So Banter Brandon went down to P8. I don't know why though. So under all that mayhem in the pit lane, Banter Brandon ended up coming out behind his championship rival of B Right. I don't know how that happened. Banter Brandon went into the pits in P3 and came out in P8. So he will be fuming about that. B Right will be happy to see him behind. So will Lewis, who's also in this championship battle, and Reese is also in it as well. Fanfirst, there's a lot of drivers. To be honest, most drivers on the grid are still in the championship battle because it's not that different. You know, in the first 8 races, we had 7 different race winners. Safety cars in this lap. So Panda will lead the way. I'm sure he will get a great head start on Ducky. Oh, Ducky, Jesus, he's just nearly took out Panda there. He needs to be careful, Ducky. And there goes Panda, and Ducky chases him down. That is Rogue Smithy. Oh, there's a big collision at the back. Rogue Smithy's into the wall. Cars and Lude into the pit lane. Fanfirst is through on Reese. Lewis and Ducky. Lewis is trying to get through. Ducky's coming back at him. Banter Brandon's there. Reese, B Right. That is Lewis again on Ducky trying to get through. That is Super Turbo as well. Ducky getting swallowed up in that Ferrari. And B Right will want to dispatch of this Ferrari as quickly as possible. And he does. And there goes Banter Brandon as well. And now here we have some action. The 1-2 in the championship. 9 points separate them, and they're in P5 and P6 here in Zandvoort. Ducky has been absolutely swallowed up here on them old mediums. So I'm not sure what happened with Cars and Lude. Rogue Smithy spun it. Lewis is 2.3 behind Panda. Panda setting the fastest lap of this Grand Prix. Literally all to play for. Reese with a penalty. That's not good for him. It's so close. Ryan on the back of Trubo. 20 laps remaining here in the Netherlands. Cars up to P12 now after taking Reese. B Right on the back of Ryan. Oh, just backs out. Good driving. Had to wait for a better opportunity, and that's what he's going to do. Lewis nearly 3 seconds behind Panda already, but he does have a 5 second. And that is Fanfirst on Senjo. Makes the lunge. Senjo down the inside in the Williams. And Fanfirst is through. Now here comes Henke in the Alpine. And down the inside of Senjo, the 2 Norwegians swap positions round turn 14. Here goes B Right on Ryan, and B Right in the Haas is through on the McLaren. And up to P4 he goes. A. Quinlan gets through on Senjo as well. The Alfa Romeo is back in this Grand Prix now. And he's on the fresher tyres of everybody else. So, He looked down and out at one point. Penalties. Let's have a look. 5 for Panda, 3 for Henke, 5 for Quinlan, 5 for Ducky, and 5 for Reese. Fanfitness is really chasing down Brandon. So Fanfitness up 10 places. DRS enabled now. That is Trubo on Lewis. This could be the move to move him back up to P2. And the Alfa Romeo goes down the inside of the Aston Martin. And there goes B Wright as well. He's going to try his luck. And he does. And B Wright's up to P3. That DRS is so strong up the pit straight. B Wright on the back of Trubo now. He will want a dispatch of the Alfa Romeo as quickly as possible. Brandon on the back of Ryan as well. Senjo and Henke. All in that DRS train from P2 all the way down to P10. That's a yellow flag. That's Rogue Smithy's out. That could be another safety car. It is. Rogue Smithy is out at the hairpin. How has he lost it there? Like, he's lost it right into the wall of the hairpin. Like, you know, on the outside of the wall. That is a crazy place to lose it. Like, I don't understand. I'd love to see what happened there. I don't understand because he's lost it on the hairpin, but he's lost it on the outside of the wall. Going round the hairpin in sector 1 at turn 3. So the safety car is out. Is anybody going to pit? Ducky and A. Quinlan. Ducky gets a 5-second time penalty for pitting. I never understand that. Why pit to benefit yourself and then get a 5-second as well? Just take your time. The safety car's out. What's the rush? It's crazy. So cars, Reese all pit as well. So Panda in the Mercedes leads. He does have a 5-second penalty though. He has 5 seconds. He could have done with pitting and getting rid of it, really. And going on to them fresher tyres. Ducky has a 5-second as well. Has Ducky even pitted yet? Yeah, he's on fresh softs now. Oh, Panda getting very close to that safety car. B right up 6 places in this Grand Prix as well. He leads the Drivers' Championship. It's exactly what he needed to do. He started in P9. He's up to P3. Back to Brandon in P6. Ducky back into the pit lane. Yeah, I mean, it's one of them. I've shown the penalties twice, haven't I? Yeah. So I've been through them twice. 5 seconds for Panda, 5 seconds for Cars, and 3 for Henke. So that's going to be costly for Panda and Cars, the 2 5-second time penalties. better for Panda. I really need to look at that, why it keeps crashing like that. It's really annoying me and I don't know why it keeps doing it. I know, it's so annoying, Jack. Like, I don't know why it does it though, or what's up with it. I'm going to search it up after the race and try and find out what to do. Hopefully, yeah, the safety car's in this lap. So Panda will get us back underway here in Zandvoort. I know, Jack. Yeah, this is the third safety car. Oh, who were them two going into the pit lane? I think there was no. It looked like they were going in. Fanfulness right on the back of Banter Brandon. Cars has got past Duckett. B right chasing down Super Turbo. That is Sendro through on Lude. That is Reese. A Quinlan to the back of this grid in the Alfa Romeo, and he's missing an M plate. Be right really close to Super Turbo now. Oh, that was very, very close. Banter Brandon on Ryan as well. He needs to dispatch of the McLaren as quickly as possible. And the Aston Martin of Lewis. That is Cars on Reese. Cars is onto the grass. He's not having a good race at all here. Cars making so many mistakes. Panda already 1.2 in front. B-Right needs to get past Super Turbo if he wants an opportunity to catch Panda here. And it looks like he will get the move done. The Haas driver is through on the Alfa Romeo. Now the Alpine, Banter Brandon needs to get past that McLaren. Fanfulness is going to try and make a move. Here comes Henke. It's the three of them, the two Alpines and the McLaren through turn 1 and turn 2. Fanfulness and Henke getting very close to each other. Henke down the inside and Fanfulness will lose a position here. Ryan chasing down Lewis. B right now into P2. Needs to get into that DRS zone of Panda. We've got the two Alpines now in P6 and P7. Still challenging for the constructors, by the way. Reese and Lude. Can Reese get past the Ferrari driver? B-Right is within the DRS zone, and Reese is losing a lot of time behind Lude there as they went into turn 13. And Reese needed to get past that Ferrari driver, and he's going to be held up even longer than Mercedes. He made such a mistake. Can Reese get through now? Oh, he's hit him. Oh, the Ferrari's spun. And he did get through Lude. That's one way of overtaking a driver. That's Cars as well now, through on him. 3 of the 4 drivers at the back are Dutch at their home Grand Prix. I was expecting out of the 7 Dutch drivers on the grid, one of them to be in the podiums, but they're not. We do have a San Marino driver who does reside in the Netherlands. And that is Cars through on Reese now as well. Cars on the warpath. Remember, B-Right is going to have to hold on, you know. He is chasing down Panda. He is chasing down Panda, but remember, he's on medium compound tyres. All the other drivers in the top 8 are on hards. So by the time we get to the end of this race, I think B-Right will start to struggle. And that's when the opportunities will come for the other drivers. Hey, Quinlan's setting the fastest lap of this Grand Prix. You know who else set a fastest lap of the Grand Prix around here today? Me. I did. Just put that out there. That's my 2nd fastest lap of the season. Cars is from Reese again. So B-Right has got DRS now on Panda. And he's probably going to have to wait for another lap. Trubo is staying with them. Ryan has lost a little bit of time. Lewis is there. Brandon needs to get through here. Ryan is dispatched of Lewis, and Brandon needs to do the same. Because at the moment, as it currently stands, B-Right would lead this championship by 26 points. Thank you so much, Harvey. Really appreciate that sub. It goes a really long way, mate. Thank you. Oh, they're having a great battle in the middle here. Henke has been taken by Sendro. Lewis and Banter Brandon still scrapping. Fanfinus is there as well. B-Right is into the lead this Grand Prix, and Panda has been taken by Trubo as well. So Banter Brandon really close to Lewis. The screen freezes are really annoying me, Jack. I've just tried deleting a load of things to see if it helps with the screen freezes. I don't know if it's because of how many things I've got on here. like driver name tags and everything. So I'm hoping I've just deleted a lot of stuff. Oh, Panda is back through on Trubo, but here comes Brandon, finally to make the move on Lewis down into turn 1. And the Alpine driver is through and up to P5. It's getting on my nerves. I'll really try and sort them screen freezes out afterwards. Reese is through on Sandro, the Mercedes. Super Trubo still chasing down Panda. Remember, B Right has still got to hold on for 8 laps. "15 laps is a long way on their mediums." Yeah, Jack, I was just thinking the same thing when I was telling you about it. I was thinking, you know what, it's actually not freezing as much, and then it froze. Can he make the move? He can't. As Panda has the DRS as well. Lewis on Brandon. He's in an Alpine sandwich at the moment, the Aston Martin. So Ryan will definitely try and get on the podium here at his home Grand Prix in Zandvoort. It's getting really close with these battles. Brandon is now 2.8 behind Ryan after getting held up behind Lewis. So that really cost him. That's a yellow flag. I think that is A. Quinlan. It is. A. Quinlan's struggled around here. Here comes Panda, and he's really closed the gap on B Right. Henke is through on Lewis as well, the Alpine driver. Fanfinis is there as well. And Henke has made the move stick. Down into the hairpin they go. Fanfinis trying to go round the outside. Panda will have that DRS on B Right, but remember he has a time penalty. You absolutely are, Harvey, yeah. Fanfinis is through on Lewis. Down the inside he goes. And the McLaren on the Aston. And the rear tyres just kick out there. Nearly colliding with the Aston Martin. But he does have the inside line. And they go wheel to wheel, side by side. Through the left and right hander. Here comes the Haas of cars now to get involved. And then you've got the Mercedes behind as they go into turn 13. DRS enabled. Cars is through. That's Panda that takes the lead in this Grand Prix once again. B Right having to settle for P2. Sendra is through on Reese in the Williams. Reese is going into the pit lane. Henke is through on his teammate. No team orders at the Alpine garage today. 5 laps remaining. And Henke is thinking for himself. He knows that Brandon is only 9 points behind B Right going into this race at the top of this championship, but still makes the move and wants that position off him. So, no team orders at all with the Alpines. Oh, that's the Haas and the McLaren. They've spun, they've collided. That is cars and fanfaners. Cars all the way, tumbles down. 4 laps remaining. And a big collision in sector 1. And that's really cost the McLaren and the Haas, who were in pretty good positions. Brandon's still following his teammate of Henke, who's 3 seconds behind Ryan, who's 3 seconds behind Trubo. But remember, Henke does have a time penalty, so I don't think Brandon has to worry too much about getting through, as he will be given that position straight back. B Wright is in contention to win this race. Remember, Panda does have a 5-second time penalty coming out of turn 14 with that DRS enabled down into turn 1. And that is Brandon through, and Henke has spun it. Henke has done a Henke here in Zandvoort, round turn 13. And the Alpine driver has spun it. And off he goes, out of the points. That leaves Banter Brandon in no man's land. Lewis on the back of Sendro. But P5, Brandon was already going to be in P5 anyway. So, 3 laps to go. And as it stands, they would be separated. B Wright would now lead the Drivers' Championship by 24 points. That is the biggest gap that B Wright has ever had in his championship. Thank you so much, Rob. I didn't see that 10 months. I really, really appreciate that, mate. Thank you so much. So that is the biggest difference in the championship that B Wright's ever had. He's won the championship 2 times before, and he's never led by more than 24 points. Here comes B Wright on Panda. He's just going to try and keep with him, keep in that DRS zone. He knows Panda's got 5 seconds. Maybe he'll try and go for the overtake like he did last time near the last lap, and just to win it on track. Lewis on Sendro. Cars as well in P10. Lude in the Ferrari is in P9, which is a great race for him. Cars not able to make the move. Lewis on the back of the Williams. So B Wright staying in that DRS. 2.5 laps to go. That's a yellow flag again. I'm just trying to have a look. I can't see why. And I think it's either A. Quinlan at the back. It is. And Ducky. And here comes B Wright. He will just stay behind. 2 laps to go. Lude and Cars just squabbling for the points. And Super Turbo is going to get a podium here if he sticks it out. Lewis on the back of Sendra in the Aston Martin. Cars on Lude. Here comes the Haas driver. Side by side with the Ferrari. The Ferrari does have the inside line, but Cars makes it through. And up to P9 he goes. So B Wright is now 6 tenths behind. Remember, he is on them old mediums. Is he going to be close enough to make the move, B Wright on Panda? Oh, Panda's going to have DRS. Is it? He's got a lapped car in front of him. That will help him out. B Wright will have that DRS. He's going to use that battery. Will he be able to make the move and go into the final lap as the race leader? Here he comes, and he's going to try and go for it. No, and he just thinks better, backs out, doesn't want to risk it. And we are on the last lap of the Netherlands Grand Prix here in Zandvoort. Lewis and Senjo side by side, the Williams and the Aston. And Lewis trying to go the long way round, just loses the rears, nearly crashes into the Williams. And in P7 for Lewis. Panda will be very close to losing the podium here. Ryan Dijpaveen is 5.2 behind Panda for the podium. Oh, and as I say that, Ryan is into the gravel. And that is podium over. And Brandon might even take P4. So Ryan's gone off the track. And Brandon will overtake him. And up to P4 goes Brandon. On the very last lap, here comes Panda though. Panda is going to cross the line in first. Up to the line he goes. But it is B. Wright that wins the Netherlands Grand Prix. B. Wright takes P1, Super Turbo takes P2, and it is going to be Panda that takes P3. Banter Brandon takes P4 on the very last lap after Ryan throws away a podium. And on to the gravel he went. Senjo in P6, Lewis in P7, Fanfitness will take P8, Cars in P9, and Henke takes a point in P10. So it was a great race here in Zandvoort. Let's go through the final standings. So there you have it. Be right on the top step. Super Turbo in P2. Panda does take a podium in P3. As they celebrate on the top steps. Let's have a look at the final standings then. So Be Right from P9 on the grid wins the Dutch Grand Prix like he did last season. His first ever race came in the Netherlands. Super Turbo in the Alfa Romeo from P2 on the grid stays in P2. And Panda, who did cross the line first but had that 5-second time penalty, finishes in P3. Banter Brandon, from that last mistake from Ryan going into Sector 3, Banter Brandon nips P4. So the gap will only be 22 points now for Be Right. Ryan Dijpaveen takes P5 still. Sendro in P6. Lewis takes P7. Fanfitness takes P8. Henke P9. Lude P10. Then we had Cars, Ducky, Reese, Quinlan. And then we had a DNF from Rogue, Smithy, Reut and Maxi. Let's go to the interviews. So we will start off with Super Turbo. Super Turbo P2 here today. Started P2, finished P2. How was that?
Oh, that was amazing, honestly.
It was a great race, mate.
Yeah, felt absolutely great, to be honest.
You had some unbelievable pace as well, yeah.
Yeah, like I said to Ben and everyone in the party, I thought about leaving gold because I wasn't fast enough, but guess I proved myself wrong here today.
No, absolutely. Oh. And you even shown that in qualifying. Obviously, in qualifying as well, you went for the soft compound tyres. You got a great qualifying position, so that sort of set the bench for the race, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we were all in the pits just constantly looking at the times, and they were going down pretty quick. And like, I think Ben said like he wasn't gonna risk it, but since I'm last in the championship anyway, so I had nothing to lose, so I just went on and tried it together with Lewis, and we just got 1-2 in quali then.
Yeah.
And then in the race, I think the first safety car, Ducky, was in P2. And he kind of went really slow into the like bank corner, so he screwed me and Lewis over a little bit by pushing us out of the DRS of Panda.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
luckily
I've
later
seen
on
that.
another safety car came, and I managed to capitalize on it and stayed with Ben for the final stint there. Stayed very close
You
until
did.
my tires got a little bit worn out. But yeah, I'll take P2 for sure, mate. That was an amazing race. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, it was, and also as well, B right had the medium compound tyres, you had the hards. At any point, did you think you might even have a chance at trying to take B right?
To be honest, I was thinking about it, but I've also thought like I might ruin both of our races if we collide, and I didn't want to risk that. So
Yeah.
I decided to stick behind
Yeah.
and just try to capitalize on Panda's penalty to eventually then get P2.
No, absolutely. I would have done the same. It was a brilliant drive, mate. You definitely deserved a podium at your home Grand Prix, so congratulations and well done, Trubo.
Half home Grand Prix.
Half home
Nathan.
Grand Prix.
Come on.
Well done, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you. We move on to your race winner. Started in P9, finished in P1. B right, how are you? Vamos! What a race win, mate. That was brilliant. For P9 on the grid as well.
Oh, unbelievable. I just thought, let's take a risk today. I started on the softs, and then I boxed on the mediums under the safety car, and the safety car came, and then thankfully after that, there was another safety car as well. Oh man, I'm absolutely knackered.
Yeah, I bet you are, mate. That was so tough out there from P9, but the strategy worked perfectly. The softs, the safety car came out at exactly the right time, got you onto the mediums. Talk about the end of the race there. Obviously, you had the opportunity to try and take Panda at the end. I don't think the risk was worth it on the very last lap to try and dive up the inside. But you'd done a lot of laps on the mediums as well.
Yeah, I was lucky to have that safety car because I think I would have got a puncture if that safety car never came. So very fortunate for that.
And what were the tyre wear like at the end of the race there, Ben?
Yeah, they were on just 70%. I'm sorry, Nathan, I'm just a bit...
No worries, mate.
Hitting me a bit. Right, yeah. Just trying to send it on Panda would have been a bit stupid at the end there with his having his 5 seconds. Yeah, so just stayed behind and sat in behind. Just give it my all really, and I knew he had 5 seconds, and I knew if only a mistake was going to drop me from out the points. But I made some lovely overtakes tonight. A lot of respect
you did,
from
yeah.
All of the guys tonight. It was a lot different out there from my point of view. But no, wow, just
yeah, especially from the qualifying as well, Ben. When it went from wet to dry and everybody got a bit caught out, and when you started in P9, you must have been thinking at some point, Jesus, it's not the start I really wanted here.
Today. Yeah, no, and I've seen Brandon all the way up in P3, and I just thought, oh, let's just do something different. You got nothing to lose, and look what's happened. But no, I'm really proud of myself. I've had a real tough week.
Yeah,
with all the guys, I've been so apologetic. It's been playing on my mind for absolutely days, and yeah, I've been really upset over the past few days because the way I treated everyone was really not nice. And you know me, Nathan, I wear my heart on my sleeve.
I think everybody does, yeah.
And I don't want to be falling out with anyone, and it's really hit home. I've not heard from anyone, and I'm normally quite a popular guy, and to not hear from absolutely anyone, and I could tell everyone's been a little bit just off with me. Just trying my best for Wednesday, you know. I just try my best, and I think tonight shows I could just put everything behind me and be the competitor I am.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah,
I mean,
so I think
everybody
that's cool.
loses their head at times, Ben. You know, everybody will lose their heads when it comes to racing. You know, everybody's competitive, and everybody will get frustrated, and you know, everybody knows that that's not the type of person you usually are. So,
No.
and you've shown that through the rest of the week as well. And I think a lot of people understand when it comes to motorsport racing, things happen, and it is what it is. But you've shown what type of person you are with the rest of the week, and the way you've raced for 3 years, you know. So
Yeah, it's been absolutely amazing. I mean, the guys I race with week in, week out, I'm very fortunate to be in the position I am, and yeah, just trying my best. And I promise, guys, I'm gonna try nothing but my best with you all, and then promise nothing will happen in the future. But no, this, how many more times is this track gonna give me special occasions? Because from P9 in round Netherlands to the race win. That's absolutely unbelievable. Who would have thought that at the Netherlands? You think the race is finished at that point? No, and I'm so proud of my closest friends. They drive me on massively, and to have this gap now in gold, I just got to extend it. As you know, the last races to the season is where I normally come out on my best. But no, very happy. But I'm still down on myself. But wow, what a race, Nathan! And yeah, just trying to be the better me, mate, and on and off the track. Obviously, I've explained that going through one of the toughest times of my life right now. To get a win is absolutely unbelievable.
yeah, it is,
Yeah.
and you definitely deserve it, mate. And from P9 on the grid at the same track, you got your first ever win. You usually come into your own in the second half of the season, but to have a 22-point gap going into round 10 next week is just incredible. So what a result, what a race win, and what a championship battle we have, mate. So well done, and congratulations on a brilliant result, Ben.
Vamos, cheers, Nathan, and
Vamos.
well done to Panda and Trubo. I'm really proud of Trubo, you know, as well. He's been battling on. He's right last in the championship, and to have one season to come up to gold the way he has, he's missed a lot of races, and to show the pace he did out there tonight, he really just put it all behind him and give it his all. So I'm super proud of Trubo. I love him to bits. He's such a good kid, and yeah, let's go. I'm so happy.
Well done, Ben. There you have it, guys. Your race winner, your championship leader, Be Right, and Super Trubo resides in Netherlands from San Marino, gets a half-home Grand Prix podium, and then Panda as well crosses the line in first, but had that 5-second time penalty. I always say to people, don't speed in the pit lane. Probably would have been a bit more chaotic at the end of the race. Maybe, I think probably Ben would have probably gone for that overtake had he not had the penalty, but it was great racing all round. Great result for some of the lads, and it was just brilliant to watch here in Zandvoort. But we'll be back tomorrow for Fantasy F7. Your team, your logo, your livery, every Monday night at 7:30. Make sure you tune in for that. But for now, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.